Everyone, good morning. So today, mag-talk ko about the motion problem. Okay, motion problem, as we all know, motion, when we say motion, ang kahulagon ta, ang paglakad, ang oras, ganon, ang distansya. Okay, so I have here D, which means the distance, R is the rate, and T is the time. So in the motion problem, may aras ang formula that if you will find the distance, you must before get the rate times time. And then the other one is the rate equals distance over time, and then the time equals distance over the rate. Okay. So in Sir Ludimir's video, he said na may ara sang RDT triangle. So mo siyang RDT triangle. Okay, just like sa formula. Ano mo lang siya. Note. Okay, note everyone that kung time, may ara siya sa question nga nakabutang na how long. Excuse me. And then sa distance, if kung ang distance ang pangitaon, how far or the total distance. Tapos if ang rate naman ang pangitaon, speed average ang usually nga per ginagamit. Example, for the one person, number 1, John drove a motor at a rate of 50 km per hour. If it travels for 5 hours, what is the total distance traveled by John? Okay, so first, paunta ang distance. Anong pamangkot? What is the total distance? Okay, as we can read, total distance. So we find the D, and the rate is 50 km per hour. As we all know, na-note ko na ang R, or the rate, is the kilometer per hour. And then the time is 5 hours. Okay. So the formula, so anong ginapangita ta? Distance, diba? Distance ang atong ginapangita. So the formula is D equals rate times time. Okay? So muna to siya, copy ko na dire. Distance equals rate times time. Okay? So copy the R, our rate is 50 km per hour. Copy. And then our time, which is the 5 hours. Copy. 50 km per hour times 5 hours is 250 km. Okay, cross that hours. Kilometer, panaog siya. So, what is the total distance traveled by John? It is 250 km. Okay. Number 2. Marites needs to cover 125 kilometers to get to town. If she needs to be there in 5 hours, what should her speed average? Okay, so ang ginapangita ta is rate. Why rate? Speed average. Okay? As we, sa take note kanina, rate, speed average. Okay. The rate, pangitaon ta ang rate, and then the distance, ang distance ta is 125 kilometers. Okay? And the time, 5 hours. Okay, so the formula, because we're finding the rate, R equals D over T. Okay, copy that. R equals D over T. Then, our D is, of course, 125 kilometers over 5 hours. And our rate is 25 kilometers per hour. Okay, so what is Marites' speed average? It is the 25 kilometer per hour. So, two persons naman tayo. Opposite directions. When we say opposite directions, pupunta ka dito, pupunta siya doon. Okay? Opposite. Then, we have here, number 1, 2 cars travel in opposite directions. One car drives at an average of 55 km per hour, while the other at 45 km per hour. After 4 hours, how far apart are the 2 cars? Okay? So, first, ibutang tanay, ang car number 1, the rate is the 55 km per hour. Its time is 4 hours, okay? And distance, of course, ginapangita ta. How far apart? Distance, okay? Car number 2, its rate is 45 km per hour. And its time is 4 hours also. And we find the distance, okay? Ang distansya nila nga dalawa. So here, I have the solution number 1. Parehas lang man gyapon gaina. So, we just plus, okay? So, isipon ka na lang na this is R1, R2, T1, T2. Okay. Distance equals R1 times T1 plus R2 times T2 equals ang R1 ta is 55, of course, times time 4 hours. The R2 is the 45 times T 4 hours, okay? And then equals 55 times 4, 220, and 45 times 4 is 180. So 220 plus 180 equals 400 kilometers. 400. So, the distance nga kung ano kalayoon ang dalawa ka car, it is 400 kilometers. Okay? And then, we have here the solution number 2. Okay. So, maghimo lang to siya sa chart. And then, car number 1, car number 2, lagay ta rate, distance, time. okay, the rate of car number 1 is, of course, 55. The car number 2, 45. Distance, walang distance, diba? We're finding the distance, so put it an x. And then, time, 55x, just copy, 45x. Okay, so we assume na T1, T2 siya. Okay, here, our time is 4 hours. Okay, so the formula naman, same naman siya gapon, T equals T1 plus T2, of course, here. And then, okay, bring down the T, which is our time, 4, equals, T1 is 55x, and then plus T2, 45x, and then, okay, bring down yung panaog ang time, which is 4, equals 55 plus 45, 100, copy the x, and then, baliktadon ta lang siya, and then, alin ang x diri equals 100 times 4 na siya, x is equals 400, okay. I hope you guys understand. Pero amo ni siya ang pag-intindi ko. So, gusto ko i-share. I want to share this to you nga kung ano ang technique nga para sa akon dali lang nga ginagamit ko always. Amo ni siya. So, yeah. This is the last one. Same direction. Okay, number 1. Doms left Davao City with a speed of 50 km per hour. Mons also left at the same time in the same direction at a speed of 38 km per hour. How many hours should Doms and Mons travel for them to be 60 kilometers apart? So, we are finding hours, time. Okay. Pero sa ginhimo tagi sa opposite direction, butang ta Doms, his rate is 50 km per hour. Time ang ginapangita ta, so question that out. And then the distance is 60 kilometers. Okay. Kay Mons naman, R is 38, rate is 38 km per hour. Sorry. Time, we're finding the time, and the distance is 60 km man. Okay, parehas sila. Okay, solution number 1. D equals R times T minus na siya guys kay parehas always remember na kung same direction na ang ginastoryahan minus na siya ang ara sa formula, minus na siya guys ha. And then kung sa opposite naman, opposite direction, plus. Okay, yun, R2 times T2. Okay, so the distance is 60 equals the R1 is 50 kay Doms. Okay, and then T times T minus 38 is ang R2 kay Mons times T time. Okay, now liwat ang 60, 50 times T, 50T, minus 38 times T, 38T. Okay. 60, bring down ulit ang 60. And then, equals 50 minus 38T equals 12T over 12. Cross that out. And then, over 12 din ang 60. So, our T is 5. 60 divided by 12 is 5. Okay. So, solution number 2. I have here the solution number 2. Okay. Butang naman ang Doms, si Doms kasi Mons. Okay. And then, the rate, time, kag, distance. Okay. 50 ang rate ni Doms, 38 naman ang kay Mons. Kung natingala ka mo, kung di naman siya nakuha, ari na siya dire sa gihimo ta nga pag-divide kay Doms ug kay Mons, okay? Ang time, of course, kay x kay gapangita ta sang time chart. And then distance, of course, times 50x, okay, 38x, okay? So ipagawasan ni siya nga D1 and D2. Okay, our distance is 60. Tingala naman ka mo kung nakuha sang distance, ari 60 km. Ari man na siya dire sa word problem, okay? And then our formula is distance equals D1 minus D2. Okay? The distance of our distance is 60 equals D1 50x. Okay? Minus D2 38x. Okay, 60, panawag 60 equals 50x minus 38x, 12x. Okay, 12, cross that out, divided by 12, 60 divided by 12, 5. Okay, our x. So, how many hours should Doms and Mons travel for them to be 60 kilometers apart? 5 hours. Okay. 5 hours. Thank you for listening.